Okay, so actually today we'll see that how actually we can create all these master data. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so resources, resource, routing, operation. So let's start from, okay, so here the first object is the plant. I will show you how actually we can create the plant. Suppose there is a manage plant application. If you will go to the manage plant, okay.
Yeah.
So can you see manage plant is one application. If you
Yes.
click on this, so there is only one plant created in this system, and that is D100. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So if you want to create any other plant, just you need to click on create, and here you can give the plant name, description, and that particular plant are you going to use for discrete industry or process industry, that you need to specify. Uh,
Mm.
in a previous classes, I already mentioned that SAP also suggested that use a different plan for different industry. Okay, don't mix
Mm.
up uh, discrete and process plan data in a same plant. Okay. So while creating the plant, if your company is the discrete, suppose there's a car manufacturing, right? So in the car manufacturing, it is like discrete manufacturing. That is only the assembly is happening. That is like a food processing company. So in that case, that will be the process industry.
Mm.
So depending on the plant, either it is the process industry, process plant, or discrete plant, you need to select that. Okay. So suppose you are selecting the discrete, and here the time zone you have to select where plant is, where the
But
plant.
it's not possible to have a plan for both, for discrete in
Uh, no,
yes.
one plant at a time it will be there, either discrete or either process. Because see, the car assembly, suppose you have a plant where you are manufacturing car. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that will not be the process industry anyway. That will be the always there is a discrete, that is the assembly.
Mm.
So
Okay.
each plant actually will be at once either discrete or process only.
Mm.
So that you need to select, and after that actually you need to select the time zone. So you are selecting the time zone for the plant location. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if there is a plant location is USA, then USA time zone need to be selected. So that is depending on the what is the location of the plant, and accordingly you are selecting the time zone. Because you will select a different time zone and your plant in a different time zone. So the report you will see that the time will differ. Okay. So
Yeah.
that the reason the better to select the location time zone accordingly. Okay, it means the plant location time zone you can select here. And
Mm-hmm.
local is yes, and then actually just you need to click on create, and it will be created. Okay, that's all. So plant creation needs only the input the plant name and manufacturing terminology, and then there is a time zone. Okay, so these three inputs is only required. Description is not a mandatory field, that is the optional. If you want to give, you can, otherwise you can leave it, and it will create the plant. So this is the SAP system. So actually, uh, I can create, or what do you think? Or we can use the earlier D100 itself.
No, we can use this D100. It's fine.
Yeah, we can use, but actually this is the way you can create if you want any to create any new plant. Whenever you will click on create here, here one another plant will be available with the name you have created. Okay,
Hmm. Okay.
so this is the way you can create a new plant, and this is the first object that you have to create in DMC to start with. If there is no plant, you cannot create any master data. As you also aware that without the plant, you cannot create the master data. But in S4HANA, actually at the client level data you can create. But here actually there is no concept of the client level data. So here the plant is the higher objects where you need to create and underline that object you can create.
Hmm.
Okay. So let's create that there is a resources, resource type, what it is. Okay, so actually we went through, but today actually let's create it. So a resource type. So with the same name you can see, just go to the search and write here resource.
Hmm.
So can you see the whatever with the resource it's coming. So the actual name for the
Yes.
resource type creation is manage resource type. Or manage resources is there for creating your resource. Okay, so click on resource type. Okay, before that, um, let me
Hmm.
that is before that I wanted to just create one scenario for the master data. Okay, what actually we are going to create the master data. So it will we we will have one um, high level view also that what actually we are performing. Okay,
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
suppose I am taking the example for car manufacturing. So suppose and in the car manufacturing I'm just taking some operation. Okay, that
Mm.
will not map more operation, two or three operation is fine. Okay, so suppose there are three operation. Okay, first operation, suppose I'm saying that assembly 01. I'm not specifying the what actually we are going to assemble here. Depending on the
Mhm.
business processes, there is a in a car manufacturing there are production line, and inside that there are different assembly stations, right? And at different assembly station, you are going to assemble the different parts, right? So
Yeah, right.
I'm just writing that assembly one, assembly two, just to and here I'm just writing inspection. And in the assembly one, what all component actually I am going to assemble, that actually I am going to write down here also. So let me quickly from Google, actually just I'm finding out the car components.
Okay.
And I will take 4 or 5 only, not all. Okay.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fine.
So which one we can take? Suppose here we are assembling engine. Okay. Suppose I'm taking the
Mm-hmm.
engine, front drive axle. I'm giving the underscore between. Here, suppose I'm a rear drive. Okay, I think that much is fine, right? I'm just two component assembling I am here and two component I am assembling here. Okay.
Mm.
And at the
Yes.
instruction actually that will only be actually we are going to check that whatever the assembly happened here in the previous one that is correct or not. Okay.
Mm.
You can keep it for the reference purpose. Okay. So this is the components that we are assembling on this assembly one and assembly two operation. And suppose there is a machine that we are using. Okay. So this is the assembly one and assembly two is the operation name. And what machine we are going to use. So that also actually I'm going to mention here. So actually we, because these all are the master data that actually need to be created. So see,
Mm-hmm.
these like engine materials, these all are the master data. There are two ways that actually you can transfer it from S4HANA or you can create it manually in DMC. Okay. So if you
Okay.
are transferring it, so these all materials, all these things need to be created in S4HANA and then there we can transfer. So first actually we can go and create the data in DMC and see how it works. And later I will show you that how actually you can transfer also the data from S4HANA to DMC. Okay, if you have integrated system.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
here I'm saying for the resources that I am going to use to assemble this engine, right? So suppose there is a machine name I am just using here, like assembly res01. It means the assembly underscore resource 01. I'm using this particular resource to perform the assembly 01 operation. Okay. So this
Yeah.
is my resource. And I'm going to use here assembly resource 02. I'm going to use here. So resource is nothing but that it might be also the area or the workbench that you are using to perform this task. Okay. So that you can
Mm.
define as a resource. Or if you are using some machine or equipment to perform this assembly two tasks, so that you can also define as a resource. Okay.
Mm. Okay. Mhm.
So I'm defining as a resource that assembly resource 01 that is used to perform this assembly 01 task, and assembly underscore res02 is the resource that is being used to perform the assembly 02 operation on the floor. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
now there is a resource type. What will be the resource type? So let me. So resource type is nothing but actually you are grouping your available resources according to their uses. Okay, where actually you are using. So and you are grouping it in a one group. That's all. Like a material group, you are for the same purpose and usability. You are grouping it. So like that also you are just grouping the resources. So
Mm.
so that is, suppose I'm saying that this is the assembly.
Then resource one and two, they are inside resource type or not?
Yes, right. You can assign these resources into the resource type. Okay.
Mm.
So resource type, I'm saying that the assembly resource. Okay.
Yeah.
Assembly resource. I'm writing full because I have already given this name. So this is the assembly resources. It means I'm going to define all the resources that I am going to use for the assembly purpose inside this assembly resources resource type.
Mhm.
Okay. So similar type of resources you can put into the resource type just to categorize your resources. So tomorrow, actually, if you want to, for the reporting purpose, or if you even you want to see that how many resources I have for the assembly, so you can directly see that, okay, you can go and you can search that resource type assembly resources. You can see it. So for that purpose, actually, you are just categorizing the resources
Mhm.
and where which all resources that you are going to use for which operation, that also it will be controlled by the resource type. Okay.
Yeah.
So so resource type will be assigned into the operation also, so I will come to that as well, so actually you can understand it better. But right now just remember that actually resource type is nothing but a grouping a similar type of resources in one group. Okay, so we have the resources, resource type, and there is a material, and there is a component operation. So let me save it for. What happened? Okay. Okay, let me create this.
Mhm.
But it's not saving. Okay. Okay, no problem. So now I'm entering into the system. And okay, so resource type. Just you need to go here. So see, actually, you can create the resource type first, or even you can create resources first. That is not an issue. Anyone you can create first. So suppose you are creating a resource type. So here in a resource type, just you need to provide the resource type name and description. That's all.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
So here I'm providing a resource type name that actually we have decided. I'm giving the same name. And here the description. And then you have to click on create. So at the left hand side, can you see the resource type that has been created in this system? That is the 76 resource types has been created.
Mm.
Okay. And
Yeah.
we also created one. Okay. So that will also be available in that assembly resource. Can you see?
Yes, I can see.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the way we can create the assembly resource. Now I'm coming to next. And then I'm going to create the resource. Okay.
Right. And yeah. And you
So
need to assign this assembly resource type, right?
yes, that I need to assign it. Okay. It means I
Okay.
have to assign some resources to it. So I'm going to create some resources, and that resources I will assign to it. Okay.
Mm.
So here I'm searching resource.
Mhm.
So manage resource. Click on manage resource. So these many resources has been created. Someone has created. Just click here on the plus sign. Can you see at the right hand side?
Uh, yeah, yes, I can see.
Yeah. So you have to click on this add to create a new resource. So just I'm clicking on it and see one new screen came. Create resource. And here it is asking that what is the resource name. Okay.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to provide the resource name that I have. Let me replaces the hyphen because here I have given the hyphen. So
Mm. Right. Mhm.
just for the uniformity, otherwise system will not prevent me. Okay.
Mm.
So assembly resource 01.
Yeah.
And here you can see a status, right? So
Mm,
a resource status is nothing but actually it will indicate either you can use these resources or not for the production purpose. It means it is the enabled. It means you can use it. Okay.
yeah.
If it is suppose the disabled or actually scheduled downtime or the so in that case it is the disabled resource. It means you will not be able to use it. If there is a breakdown, you can change the status for this resource. So these all statuses of the resources getting changed only because SAP or DMC use these statuses for the reporting purpose. That how much time this resources has been used as a productive resource whenever you are manufacturing something, whenever actually it was at the enabled status, and how many times, how much times actually it was in a breakdown, okay, how much actually it was in a scheduled downtime. So all these things will be calculated by the status of the resource. So how much time
Mm,
actually it was productive and all. So this resource status, first time you will create it will be enabled, but in a here in a information can you see use the resource status with region code plugin to change the resource status. Here it is saying that to changing after creating this resource, if you want to change the status of this resource, you have to use the plugin. Okay, that is the plugin name is the resource status with region code plugin. So
mhm.
that actually I will show you how actually you can change the resource status the time I will come to the production updated dashboard, because this plugin you can use at the production updated dashboard only. So
But
uh,
that plugin is where is that plugin? Outside of the DMC?
no, that is inside of the DMC only. But that is one user interface. Plugin you can consider for the user interface that will give you the option what status you want to change. Okay, so it
Mhm,
will give you the list of statuses that's available, and you can select any one of them, and you can select the region code. Why actually you are changing the status? Okay, the region, and then you can save it. So what will
mhm,
happen? The resource status will be changed here. So suppose your resource you are not going to use a particular resource, particular equipment on the floor. So in that case, actually you can disable it by the plugin. So if it's been disabled, you will not be able to use this resource for the production purposes. And whenever you want
mhm,
to use it, you can enable it as well. So that task actually you can do it through the plugin that actually available in a production operator dashboard.
mhm. Okay.
Or let me see if there is a standalone plugin, because there is a dependent and a standalone plugins are there. Let me, this is the dependent. No, this is actually from pod only you can use. I will show you. Okay, the time actually I will come to the production operator dashboard
Okay.
configuration.
Yeah. Mhm,
And here is the process resource. Actually, I went I went through that day, right in previous the theory section, that either it is the process resource are you going to create, or you are going to create the discrete resource. Okay,
mm, yeah.
so, so process, this is the only the checkbox actually you can do like on or off. Okay,
Mm,
so if are doing yes, it is the process resource. The meaning is that suppose someone in a shift A has started one operation at the floor and he has not completed because his shift has over. So he can go home and the next person will come from B shift. They can complete the operation that is started on this
Mm.
resource.
Yeah.
But if you are keeping as a discrete resource, the person has started, they only have to complete it. Okay.
Yes.
Otherwise, system will not allow any other person to complete it. If you are using the discrete resource, so this is no, the meaning is that discrete resource. If you are making it on, then it is a process resource. So that the reason it is in the process resource. Yes. Okay. So I'm just keeping the process resource that anybody can start and any other person can complete it. It's not specific to the user level that decision is not be taken at the user level. Decision for the complete will be taken by the resource level. Okay.
Mm.
The
Okay.
efficiency of the equipment, the by default is 100. You can make the changes also. So I'm making that okay, this machine is 100% efficient. So this one actually being used in the OE calculation for the standard reports. Here you can see the maximum SFC in work. How many SFC will be in work on this resource? It means how many SFC operation will be started on this particular resource at a time. So suppose there is a
Right.
resource, you have started one SFC, you have started another one, but how many, what is the maximum limit that actually you can start it? So that you can mention here. So I'm not mentioning anything. The meaning is that there is no limitation how many SFC you can start here.
Mm. Okay.
Okay. If you are giving any number here, suppose I'm saying one, so only one SFC or one product you can manufacture at a time by using this resource. You can start only one. If you will start the second one, it will not allow because it will say that already one SFC is running on this resource. You cannot start.
Hmm.
And if I will not give anything, it will not ask me that how many SFC you are starting. It will not prevent. Any number of SFC can be started.
Okay.
So depending on the requirement, you can use this field. Blank means no limitation, and even giving any number, it means it will be specific to that. It will allow only two at a time.
Hmm.
And the immediate status change, yes, or you can change it to no as well. So yes, I am keeping the meaning is that suppose you are going to change the status of the resource by the plugin. So it is saying that do you want that immediate status change will affect? So whenever you are changing, immediately the status should be changed. If you are keeping yes, it will change the immediate status. Immediately it will change the status. If you are checking no, and then you are changing the status of the resource, so in that case, what it will do, if any SFC is started on this resource, so it will not change the status until that particular SFC will be completed from this resource. So as soon as the resource SFC will be completed from this resource, the status will be changed here. But if the SFC is started at this resource, it will not change the status unless and until it will not complete. So that is the meaning of that immediate status change. If you are keeping yes, it will immediately change the status irrespective of that if there is any SFC is started on this resource or not. If you are keeping it no, it will wait to change the status until actually the started SFC. is going to be completed. It means it will, as soon as it will
Mm,
complete, it will change the status. So that is
okay.
actually a immediate status change is controlling.
Mhm.
But the status anyway we are changing from plugin, but actually this is the control that having here that if you want. So actually better to keep that the sometime actually you are keeping that like a breakdown happen, right? So in that case, it will be the immediate change.
Mm,
So this is the main data that you need to provide to create the resource, but only the mandatory is one. So all the mandatory field that you will be seeing here that is marked with the star, and all other are optional. And here you can see there are different sections for the resource. There's a main section. So this is the part of the main section. This is the resource type. This is the another section. Machine model is another section. Shift assignment is another section. Technical object assignment is another section. Time based, WIP transport, custom data. So all these are the sections are there, but only the mandatory field is that inside the main section. Okay.
mm.
Now, now I'm coming to the resource type because you have created the resource type and we need to assign the created resources into the resource type. Okay.
And you can assign resource for more than one resource type. I can see here or not.
More than one resource type means
Maybe you say assign resource types. Then maybe you can choose more than one resource types in this resource. I can see.
no. So let me clarify one thing. One resource can be a part of only one resource type. One resource cannot be the part of multiple resource type.
Okay. Yeah.
It will give you the error. So one
Okay.
resource can be assigned to the only one resource type. Suppose there is a assembly 01. Suppose you have assigned to the resource type assembly resource. So if you have another resource type that you have created, you cannot assign the same resources to that also. It means the one resource will go to the only one resource type. It will not
Mhm.
be shared into the multiple resource types.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but here actually I got your confusion that I'm saying that the assignment of the resource type, right? But here actually you can understand that resource assignment to resource type. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
You are assigning the resources to resource type. So here you will see the resource type and the assigned resource type. So you are assigning the resource type. The meaning is that you are assigning this resource to the resource type. Okay. Because this
Yeah.
screen is for the resource. So
Yes.
you are assigning this resource type to this resource. And the meaning is that you are assigning that resources to resource type, and that is one-to-one mapping for the resources.
Mm.
So here it's multiple, but actually it will give it multiple at the right hand side, so it will not allow you. That it will give you the error that you cannot assign a single resource to multiple resource type.
Mm. Okay.
So here, let me search the resource type we created. There is no specific search functionality here. So let me search one by one.
Assembly resource is there.
Yeah, this one, right? So
Yes.
select that, select this line and just click on this arrow. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So it's came at right hand side. The meaning is that you have
Mm.
assigned this resource to this resource type. Okay.
Yeah.
And apart from that, there is a machine model that will come later. Actually, the if you have the equipment created for this resource, actual equipment that is the physically available on the floor. So in that case, actually, you can assign that equipment to this resource. You can also assign the shift, that in which shift this resource will be used. So you can assign the shift as well to this particular resource. Technical object is nothing but the functional location and the asset you are going to assign. If you have where this resource available on the floor, so what is the name of that area, that actually you can give here the functional location. So this is mainly used for actually to identify where or to locate where these particular devices are there on the floor. So you can map the functional location as well and the equipment. There's a time-based auto assembly. So this is another concept for the resource can be used for a time-based assembly. It means its consumption actually be decided based on the time. And WIP transport and custom data. So custom data is the important thing if you want to keep something, some other field data for the resource, and that is not available as a standard. So in that case, you can create a custom data field and you can store or you can keep the data related to the resources. So it happens that actually different manufacturing process, suppose they want to keep some record with the resources, and that is not available provided field here in any one of this section. So in that case, you can create one custom field for the resource, and there actually you can keep the data for this resource. Okay. So custom
Yeah.
data is the useful thing that actually if anything that is not available as a standard field, you can create your own and you can keep it.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then actually just you need to click on create. So assembly resource 01 has been created. I'm going to create the assembly resource 02. So can you see there is a copy functionality also here.
Yeah. I can see it.
So giving all this data again, just actually we can copy it and create the new. So it will not allow you the same name. So we have another name 02. Okay.
Yes.
Just change the name and everything will keep the same because I want to assign these resources also in this resource type. Okay. So ultimately
Hmm.
in this resource type, there will be two resources assigned, assembly res01 and assembly res02. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm clicking on create. So two resources has been created and it also has been assigned to the resource type. Okay. So actually you can also create the work center. Okay. So work center is nothing but actually suppose you are using a production line. Okay. So the production line also you can define as a work center, or you can also define the particular area as a work center. This is the assembly area and this is the inspection area. So inspection area you can define the another work center, and the assembly area you can define the another work center. So this is actually depending on how at the floor actually the process is happening. Okay, so ultimately we are mapping the production processes into the DMC. So depending
Hmm.
on that, you can create, you can one work center and you can assign these resources to that. So what I am doing here, I am creating one work center that will consist the assembly. 01 and assembly 02 and another work center that will contain the inspection. But that is not the mandatory object that you have to create. Okay.
Mm,
But if
yes.
you want to make your hierarchy, or if you want to make your production process completely to be mapped, so in that case actually you can do that as well.
Mm.
So suppose I am creating one work center. Let me. And for this one, I'm saying a work center. No, work center name, I'm giving that like just prefix work WC hyphen assembly. Okay.
Hmm. Yeah.
I'm creating because actually at least you will know that yeah, this also can be created and organized in that way as well. Okay. So I'm giving that WC hyphen assembly, and this another work center I will be creating for this. Oh, inspection. Okay.
Mm.
So I'm saying that this is one work center, assembly work center. Inside that, I am performing two operation, assembly one and assembling two inside one assembly area. Okay.
Okay.
A complete area I'm defining as a WC as a work center and giving the name WC hyphen assembly. And inside that,
Mm.
actually, I'm performing these two operation. Okay. So this is my
Okay.
operation. And another work center, or you can say another area that I am using for inspection operation.
Hmm.
So on the floor, if you see they also gives the name, and by that name, actually, they are more familiar. Okay. So
Mm.
that type of name you can create also in a DMC uh, to map it, the business processes completely. So that's the reason actually I'm going to say what is the concept of the work center that also you can utilize. Okay. But work center,
Okay.
if you not create also, that's fine. You can perform your production processes. But if you want a more organize it, so you can do it. So now I'm going to a DMC and creating a work center. Let's see. Just like here the work center. So can you see
Okay.
there is a manage work center?
Yes.
So
Yes.
click on it. Already this many work center has been created.
Mhm.
So here actually you can create your work center. So I'm creating the work center. I'm writing down all because actually later we can take the reference what object actually we have created and what we are doing, that also we can understand.
Mm.
Assembly work center. Here also there is a enable and disable. If you want to use this work center, you have to keep it enabled. if you want to disable it temporarily or permanently, you can disable and save it will be disabled and it will not be used for the production purposes. Okay.
Yeah.
So this the status control for this category actually you can define for the work center because work center is one area. So are you going to consider the work center as a cell group, or are you considering one line, or are you considering one multiple production order line group, or are you
Mm,
considering a work center as a building? Okay. So
yeah.
depending on requirement you can do. Suppose I am selecting the line. The meaning is that I am going to use this work center assembly as one line where I am doing this assembly one and assembly two operation. And even
Mm,
you can, if you want, you can keep it none as well. Okay, so I'm just keeping as a line. Maximum number of people and maximum number of minimum number of people, maximum and minimum number of people. So how many maximum and minimum number of people they can walk at this work station? So that actually you can define here.
okay.
If you need, if you want to restrict the number of people, you can.
Mm,
And now, if you are using two resources inside this work center assembly, you can map the resources also. That actually, okay, this is the assembly work center assembly. Inside that, how many resources you are using, that also you can define as a work center member.
mm,
Okay. So tomorrow actually for the reporting purpose, you can also uh, easily find the reports that actually which resources coming under which work center.
mm,
So for that actually you need to click on add to add the work center member. Just click here, and here you can see you can select the resource, you can select the work center because work center is used for the hierarchical structure. So one work center can have another work center inside if there is a complex hierarchy. So one a bigger area can contain the smaller area inside it, right?
mm.
So
Right.
one building can contain the multiple rooms. So one building you are defining as a work center as a building. So inside that you can define another work center as a cell group, production line like that. Okay. So for that actually the hierarchical way actually you can create. So we have only one hierarchy that we are creating as a production line, and inside that just we are giving some resources. But there is always remember this is not mandatory. If you want to it for the reporting purpose, or if you want for the better hierarchy management, so for that actually you can use it. Okay. So
Yes.
the resource, whenever I will select the resources, this field will be disabled. Either, so here it is giving me two options. Either if for this work center, the member can be the another work center inside it, or the member can be the resource. If the member will be the resource, then work center will be disabled. If the work center will be the member, then resource will be disabled. And if you want any other one, you can click on multiple time add, one row will be added.
Mm,
So,
okay.
so here I am going to, our was the assembly one, right? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it was there.
Yeah,
Yes.
this one, right? So I'm selecting it. So can you see this work center has been disabled?
Yes, yes.
And again I'm clicking on add to add the another one, assembly chip. If you have a work center, then you can also add here, and if you want to put some other work center inside this work center, like I given the example. So in that case, actually, you can select the work center, and that time the resource field will be disabled. So that is the hierarchical structure you can create. And the custom field, that is the same thing that if you want to create some custom fields to store the data related to the work center, that you can go for the custom field as well. So clicking on create, you have created one work center having these two resources inside it. You can see there is an option for the copy it, and I am creating another work center, WC inspection. And inside that, actually, I am going to add the resources, inspection resources. Did we create the inspection resource? No, work center, no, right?
Mm-hmm. No.
The resource we had,
We create. Yeah.
no, resource.
No, no. You didn't create. I think so.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I'm creating an inspection hyphen RA01. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the resource that will be used for the inspection purpose here. Okay. So for this, I have created this resource for the inspection operation. I am creating the inspection resource.
Mm.
So okay, let me save the work center. Later, I will add this resource that I will create.
Okay.
WC hyphen inspection.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm creating the going to the resource. So let me create one resource type also for this.
Mm.
The
Okay.
assembly resource type I have created where I have kept the assembly resources. I'm creating one inspection resource. Okay.
Mm. Yes.
This is the maximum character it's allowed. In description, you can give more. Create it. And this one let me remove from here. It is okay. So this
Yes.
one the
Mm-hmm.
resource type for this, and this is the resource type for this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have created the resource type, that is the inspection. Now I'm going to the
Resource.
source we have created, right? Resource maintenance. Okay, so inspection RES01 I am going to create. Okay, and
Yes.
description inspection. Make it process, and here I have created the inspection one. So let me search it. This one, right? And now just I
Mm-hmm.
need to create on, right? So it's got assigned, and then I'm just clicking on create. And now I'm going to the work center. Okay.
Yes.
So in work center, we created the inspection one. Just I'm searching, you can search it from here. So inspection, and here I'm going to assign the member as a work resource. So the here
In the
this one,
inspection resource. Yeah.
yeah, and then I am going to update it. So save. So this assignment has been done. So we created the resource type, resource, and also the work center we created.
Yeah.
And now you can create the operation, and then actually there will be the routing. Actually, it will be taking time. So routing actually will start tomorrow. Okay, but
Okay.
operation I can create today. So we have a three operation, right? Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Assembly 01, assembly 02, and inspection. These three operations we have. So
Right.
creating the operation, you can search here the operation. So can you see there is a manage operation activity?
Yes, I can
So
see.
this actually you can use for the operation creation. These all are the master data that we are creating. Okay. So here click
Mm.
on add, and here you need to give the operation name. So you have already operation name in hand,
Mm-hmm.
and the version you can provide any letter. Actually you can give as a version number, anything, but best practice that actually be like that actually to give. And here there is a operation activity type that will be the normal or a special. So keep it normal because a special is being used for the some other person purposes. Okay, that I will come later for the special one. If you are creating
Yes.
some special operation, so if I will explain right now, you will not understand it. Okay, if I will go for one round of execution, then actually I will let you know what is the meaning of a special operation. Okay, for that
Okay.
actually a special routing need to be created. So keep it normal because most of the operation creations are normal only. This is very rare case in a special. I will explain it. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and here the description I'm just giving the same as assembly 01. A status is realizable, new, absolute, hold. If it is the new status, it means this operation creation is in creation phase and that cannot be used for the production processes. Okay.
Mm.
Unless and until you will not make it realizable, it will not be used. Now it is realizable. Your status of the operation is realizable. The meaning is that you are now able to use it into the production process.
Mm.
Obsolete, the meaning is that you have obsolete this operation, no longer you are going to use it. So in that case, you can change the status to obsolete. It will not be used in the production process. Hold, If you are keeping a temporary hold for this operation, you can change the status to hold. It will not be used for any production process until you are not removing the hold and making it to the releasable. So only actually it will be operational in status releasable. Okay.
Okay.
These all statuses are there if you want some controlling over it. You want to stop for a temporary purpose of still you are in a creation phase. So for that reason, the statuses you can change. I'm making it realizable that I want to use. And here, see, the interesting thing is that while creating the operation, the resource type is mandatory.
Right. Mhm.
Why it is
Yeah.
mandatory? The resource type is mandatory. It is saying that whatever the resource type you will assign here, and
Mhm.
in that resource type, whatever the resources are there, that only resources will be used to perform this assembly 01 operation.
Mhm.
Got it?
Yeah.
Because here actually you are controlling the operation, that which equipment or resources will be used to perform this operation. Operator will not use any resources by their own. Okay. System
Mhm.
will control over it, that you have to use these only resources that has been assigned for for this particular operation.
Mm.
So
Okay.
this is the place. So here you can click on this sign and you can select the resource type. So one is the, I earlier explained about the default resource. So default resource type is the standard resource type uh, that comes with the SAP DMC installation itself. Okay. If you don't want your resources to be managed in a proper way, like which group actually this particular resource belongs to, if you don't want to take care about that, so SAP
Mhm.
has provided a default. You can use default and let it go. Okay.
Yeah.
But actually we have created some resource type, right? So assembly. So this is the assembly resources. So suppose I'm adding the assembly resource type to this operation. So what is the meaning of that? So only two resources that I have assigned to this resource type, assembly 01 and assembly RS01 and RS02, that only two resources can be used for this operation. Okay. Any other resources will not be used to perform this operation. That's all.
Yeah. Understand. Mhm.
Default resource, if you want to give, you can. Otherwise, you can leave it. The work center, if you want, you can give or leave it. So I'm doing that work center mapping that we have created the work center assembly. The meaning is that this operation is coming under the work center assembly. Okay. So
Mm.
I'm just
Yeah.
giving the work center this one. See, this is the default resource. The meaning is that if there are two resources, so operator need to select to perform this operation. So whenever operator will start this operation, Amy will propose these two resources. You can select any one of the resources from this resource type to perform this task. But if you are giving some default resources, so first time automatically Amy will select that default resource. An operator, if you want, he can change later. Are you getting?
Mm. Yes. Mhm.
So it's just giving that, okay, suppose you want resources frequently used, so you can give it as a default resource. So operator has the both things. By default, one resource will be selected. And if you want, you can select the other one as well. So that is the meaning of the default resource. If I'm giving the default resource, like suppose, so this one will be the by default selected resource.
Mm.
So that you will see in the production operator dashboard. Okay. And here the custom data that you can, if you have any custom data related to the operation, that you can maintain.
Okay.
So let me create it. And now I'm just copying it. That's all. So we have another operation assembly 02
Mm.
and assembly 02. And the resource type will be the same for this also. Okay. I'm going to use the same resources for this assembly 2 as well.
Mhm. Okay.
And the work center is also same for this operation. Okay. Just I'm clicking on create. Again, I'm doing the copy. So this copy functionality will do the work faster. So here actually you can see there is a inspection operation. I'm going to create the operation inspection, keeping a version A normal, description is also inspection. What happened? Oh, someone has created the operation with the same name inspection. Okay, so that's the reason
Ah,
it's
okay.
confusing me.
Yeah.
So inspection 01, I am just keeping for it. Okay,
Okay. Yes. Yes.
so at least we can create and make it realizable. And here actually the resource type I am going to change because you have
Mm.
created the resource type that inspection RS01. Sorry, inspection resource we have created, right?
Mhm.
I'm going to use that. And the default resource will come from this only. Inspection. Okay, inspection resource one. And the work center also we have a different work center for this WC hyphen inspection INSP. Okay, so we created the inspection operation as well. And just I'm creating
Mhm.
resource has an incorrect type.
Resource.
It means this resource is not available in this resource type. Let me check. I'm opening this DMC in another tab just to check. Resource type. Inspection resource type. Okay, let me go for the resources.
Inspection result.
Okay, so inspection. What is the resource name for us? Inspection iPhone RS01.
Mm.
This one. Oh,
Ah,
can you
but
see
yeah. Yeah.
some other?
Yeah.
Actually, I just took the instruction resource description and I did it. Let me remove it and edit our one. Inspection. This is our
Yes.
one.
It's
Okay.
there. Yeah.
Save it. If I will save it, then it will allow me to save. Okay.
Mm. Yes.
Okay. So actually we created a resource type, resource, work center, operation. So tomorrow actually we go for the routing and other master data. Okay.
Routing and equipment, or not?
Equipment that is for the another purposes. Okay.
Uh-huh.
That I will
Okay.
comes for the
Okay.
equipment in a later, because
Okay.
right now we are not going to create the equipment master data, but you can create the equipment and you can map with the resource. That there was one option that you can map it. So I will show you that how you can create the equipment also, and
Uh-huh.
you can map it to the resources.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So you can
Nice.
create it also, or as you can, if you have a set central, from there also you can import.